At the Last Supper, after warning that one of the 12 would betray him, Jesus turned to Peter, Simon, and said that before the rooster crowed he would deny him 3 times. Peter protested that he would die first, but Jesus' prediction stood. During that meal, Judas had already resolved to betray Jesus. Satan entered him, and after Jesus identified him as the betrayer by giving him a dipped piece of bread, Judas left to arrange with the chief priests how he would hand Jesus over for 30 pieces of silver. Later, they went out to Gethsemane, where Jesus prayed in deep anguish while Peter, James, and John kept falling asleep. Judas then arrived leading a crowd armed with swords and clubs, sent by the priests and elders. He gave Jesus the agreed sign by greeting him with a kiss, at which point the guards seized him. In the scuffle, Peter drew his sword and cut off the ear of the high priest's servant. But Jesus rebuked him, healed the servant, and allowed himself to be taken. He was led first to Annas, then to Caiaphas the high priest, and put on trial before the council. False witnesses were brought, and when directly asked if he was the Messiah, the Son of God, Jesus affirmed it, and they condemned him for blasphemy. Meanwhile, in the courtyard below, Peter denied knowing Jesus 3 times, first to a servant girl, then to another bystander, and finally to several who recognized his Galilean speech. Just as a rooster crowed, Jesus turned and looked at him, and Peter went out and wept bitterly. Overcome with guilt at what he had done, Judas later tried to return the silver to the priests, declaring he had betrayed innocent blood, but when they refused, he threw the coins into the temple and went out and hanged himself. At daybreak, Jesus was bound and taken to Pontius Pilate. When Pilate learned he was a Galilean, he sent him briefly to Herod Antipas, who mocked him and sent him back. Pilate found no guilt, but under pressure from the crowd, released Barabbas and handed Jesus over to be crucified. After being scourged, mocked with a purple robe and a crown of thorns, he was led to Golgotha. Simon of Cyrene was compelled to carry the cross. There they nailed Jesus to the wood between 2 criminals, cast lots for his garments, and hung a sign over him: Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews. From noon until mid-afternoon, darkness fell. Jesus prayed for his executioners, spoke words of forgiveness and fulfillment, and finally cried out and gave up his spirit. At that moment, the temple curtain tore in 2, the earth shook, the centurion declared him righteous, and a soldier pierced his side, bringing blood and water. Joseph of Arimathea, with Nicodemus, laid him in a new tomb wrapped in linen and spices before the Sabbath, while the women who had followed him watched and prepared to return after the rest day.